Port Royal can be described as one of the best-kept secrets on Hilton Head Island. One of the best things about Port Royal is once one drives through the gates, you don't know if it's June or if it's January because things don't change that much. The bikers, the walkers, the drivers, even if it's high season, it's quiet and uncrowded. The community sits at the north end or the heel of the island. There are properties that are along the Port Royal Sound as well as the Atlantic Ocean with private, residential, oceanfront homes. Port Royal is a landowners association and was incorporated in 1973. As of 2021, there were 964 homes that are developed and 43 undeveloped lots. The 2022 annual POA fee for a property in Port Royal is $1,835 for homes and $1,560 on an unimproved lot. There are only homes inside the gates of Port Royal and no condos within the community. One of the attractions to Port Royal is that it is a residential community with no short-term rentals, not a vacation community like Shipyard, Palmetto Dunes, or Sea Pines. The shortest term one can rent is 90 days. If somebody is looking for a rental investment property, Port Royal is not for them. Inside the gates of Port Royal community, there are no hotels or commercial activity, but part of the surrounding area is host to the Westin and multiple timeshares like Marriott Island Links, Royal Dunes, and the Wimbledon Court area. There are monthly meetings with landowners where information is given on what's going on in Port Royal and owners can ask questions and stay informed. Port Royal is a covenant-driven community with bylaws, rules, covenants, and architectural guidelines. All those are available on the Port Royal website, and it is a great resource to learn more about how great it is to live in Port Royal. The Plans Approval Board, PAB, does not review applications from potential buyers. The new or current owner would be responsible for submitting that paperwork. The Port Royal Administration building is on the right on Coggins Point Road prior to the gate for new owners to get their community passes and ask further questions. Port Royal has a transfer fee of 0.5% of the purchase price of the property, which was put in place in May of 2017. The transfer fee is dedicated to paying off any loans related to disaster recovery, as well as these three designated areas: disaster recovery funds, asset replacement costs, and capital fund. In 2016, the Port Royal POA, approved with 2/3 vote, issued a special assessment to all landowners to redo the beach house. The special assessment cost per landowner was $2,822, and owners were given the option to pay that fee in one lump sum or have it paid over 10 years. If owners opted to pay over 10 years, it is transferable to a new property owner. So, if a house is being sold, the seller should be asked if the beach house assessment was taken care of, or if they chose the 10-year option and it is being transferred to the new owner. As of 2021, Port Royal had less than 51 of their landowners that still owe on the beach house assessment, and they get billed every October. The beach house project was completed in 2020 and was the largest project we've had in Port Royal. It cost just under $4 million and has added so much to the Port Royal community. The beach house has a full ocean room area, a community room, screened porch, as well as a very large deck on the backside of the beach house. As the beach house is approached, on the right side is a boardwalk. The boardwalk goes down to the Port Royal Sound at the heel of the island where the Port Royal Sound and the Atlantic Ocean converge. From the beach, you can see the large back deck, the terrace, and the screened porch. There is a swimming pool area with the largest lap pool on the water, as well as a bathhouse with restrooms and a new kiddie pool that was completed in 2018. The beach house area also includes a playground, a great view of the Heritage Golf Course, as well as storage lockers underneath that can be rented by owners to store beach and water equipment such as beach chairs and kayaks. The beach house is open to only owners use for private and association functions. It is not set for commercial space, as that would have required a commercial kitchen and more parking spaces, wiping out the lovely green space in the area. Other amenities in Port Royal include the beautiful green space of the Arboretum where there are walkways, benches, and new plantings, a very beautiful little contemplative place. There is a farm area where owners interested in farming can rent a plot, and if they want to, become part of the official farmer group where they grow vegetables and flowers, which they can share with staff and residents in the community. There are also 3 wonderful historical sites in the Port Royal community: Fort Walker, the Fort Sherman Bunker Earthen Works, and The Steam Gun Ruins, which are a great area to explore and include beach access to the Port Royal Sound. There are many social opportunities within the community of Port Royal, from bridge groups, mahjong, art groups, as well as musician groups, and so much more. There are a lot of different groups within the community that owners can participate in. One of the most used amenities, according to the most recent Port Royal survey, was the use of the just over 6 miles of leisure paths. Port Royal has converted asphalt leisure paths to concrete paths, making them wider and easier to travel. There is good fishing in Fish Hall Creek, as well as tons of wildlife throughout the community that need to be respected and protected. Many owners walk the beaches daily, from Fish Hall Creek down to the Weston, and there are 21 beach access paths, many with boardwalks over the beach renourishment, which really has taken hold. Port Royal has a lot more beachfront than it used to, and the Port Royal Association maintains the beach access points, which includes 3 paths with parking and foot showers. Beaches are rarely crowded, and often a walk on the shore is by oneself. If a home is further from the beach to walk or ride your bike to, there is parking at the beach house. Port Royal has 2 18-hole semi-private golf and a racquet club. Semi-private means every morning one of the 2 golf courses is reserved for members only until 11:30 a.m., whereas the second golf course is open to any kind of resort or public play. Port Royal also has a racquet club featuring 8 clay tennis courts and 6 pickleball courts. Technically, the Port Royal Plantation Club is not inside the gates, and though a semi-private club, it looks like it's a private facility. The restaurant inside the clubhouse is called Robbers Row Grill. The restaurant is open to anyone. The membership has no food and beverage minimums and no assessments. Take a step outside on the veranda of Robbers Row Grill, probably the most popular dining spot. With new lunch and dinner menus, there are lots of events at Port Royal Golf and Racquet Club. For instance, there are Roaring Twenties parties, as well as wine dinners or member guest tennis events. The clubhouse is where you can meet and see your neighbors, as it isn't just for the people who belong. Members and non-members alike can sit and have a drink on the patio and have a really good time. While you don't have to be a member of the club as a property owner in Port Royal, there are 3 primary categories of membership. There are golf, tennis, or social memberships available either under a resident, primary residence within 100 miles of Hilton Head, or non-resident, primary residence outside of 100 miles of Hilton Head. This plan offers playing privileges during any 5 calendar months each year. All plans have an initiation fee, and then dues are paid quarterly. Cart plans are also a separate charge. There is also a sports membership that rolls all 3 into one membership. The Port Royal Plantation Club is part of the membership group with the Heritage Golf Group. Heritage Golf Group purchased Port Royal Golf and Racquet Club in January 2020, as well as the Oyster Reef Golf Club in Hilton Head Plantation and Shipyards Golf Club. When referring to the Heritage Golf Collection, it's those 3 properties, and backed by KSL Capital Partners. The KSL Group has been in the hospitality sector for decades and does a fantastic job improving properties. The membership at Port Royal Plantation Club does not include the other Heritage Golf properties. However, Heritage Golf Group does sell annual pass memberships at Oyster Reef and golf memberships and annual passes at Shipyard, but currently there is not a product that gives one access to all 3. Port Royal has private 24/7 security, with all of the officers being SLED certified, using an online system for gate access called Dwelling Live, giving owners the ability to manage their own guests. They can go on the app or online and enter their guests' information so when they arrive, the pass isn't already the system making for easy entry. Owners can buy a daily or annual pass. Port Royal Security patrols 24/7 and can do house checks when owners are out of town, giving peace of mind. If an owner signs up for house checks, their house can be checked between 1 and 3 days. The patrols go around and check the house if gone for the summer. Every 3 days the house gets checked, the perimeter is walked around, all the windows are checked that they are closed, the doors are locked, and the house is secure for the residents who are away.